Hello, Divine Sunshiners. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Namago. Hello, this is another twin flame trigger warning. So, the question that I'm asking you is, are you being reactionary to things, or are you really actually responding to things? Because some of us is not being proactive, and we're using our reactions to things and being reactionary as if that is action, and it ain't. Because you're just reacting. You're letting other things be your master. You're letting other things control you. You're letting everything doing that and saying, well, in doing that, I react back to it. So then, therefore, I am taking action. I asked a question on the poll, and I said a little better because I had did the video before on here to ask you all, what can you all do to get into union? And the choices that I gave you about things that I offer on here as far as videos was very eye-opening. Because the things that I thought that were things in which would help you to have union with self were things that, to me, you chose things that I thought in some ways didn't have anything to help you with, helping you to propel on the union. Such as the one that I could understand, twin flame collective readings. I can understand that. The one that I say, I dream of twin flames. You all didn't choose that, but in those are messages the source are actually giving you. They might be deep and abstract, but if you decode it, it really is telling you about what is the source seeing you as a twin flame or a light worker, what you should be doing. To me, that should be looked upon and that should be skipped over. But I've seen a lot of, it was a split on the divine masculine, divine masculine to divine feminine messages. And I was very perplexed, and I said, hold it, stop right here. What does that have to do with you getting into union with self? Now, this is trigger warning, so that means I'm talking to you, and I'm watching the verbiage that I'm using. Last time, it was kind of raw. Like, what does that have to do? The question is, how is that? Is that you being reactionary by you listening to these DM to DF videos? Doesn't that cause you to push you into that reactionary stance, a reactionary kind of way of doing, like, oh, she said we ain't, or oh, he with the karmic, or oh, he ain't feeling it. Yeah, I knew that. That don't surprise me that he feeling like X, Y, and Z. Doesn't that make you feel more so reactionary? Where is the proactiveness in you getting yourself together in viewing those things? Now, I'm not knocking anybody hustle and flow, because I can understand it's like almost saying, and I'm not saying that the divine counterpart is your enemy, but a lot of times they say, know your enemy, keep your enemies close and your friends, keep your friends closer and your enemies closer. Not saying that they are, but they're called counterparts, which means they're opposing. They are your opposing partner. And some of you all are really, truly coming from that stance of really saying they're opposing. That's why I really don't like to say your counterpart. Because to me, counterpart means you go moving against, like counterclockwise. You're going against the flow of how a natural clock flows. Okay, again. So that causes an issue. I was looking at Daniellleboomlle, and he was saying the same thing. And we kind of started out at the same time to our channel. I said, well, maybe we like the old school ones. And, you know, our things had to shift. And he's like, why is it when I'm looking on these timelines, I'm seeing more things talking about the karmics, the exes. I'm getting ready to go try something new. I'm leaving it, the narcissist. He's like, what is this trend I'm seeing in the twin flame? And it is there. A lot of them doing that. You know, they had that. You know, I try to really on this channel to really stay true core to the cause is my thing. And I guess that goes back to even my background, and I can be open, you know, and I welcome myself to conversations that you all have down there at the bottom. That you could say, you know, hey, you're a little kind of in the old paradigm, you're a little rigid on some things. But one thing that I have, and I'll be vulnerable and be truthful about you about that, I have an issue that with readers or twin flame advisors that have come out to say they're for the twin flame journey or the adventure, but at the same time, they are still spewing out, going, finding other people. to me, I'm talking about this duality. We have enough duality already, enough that's going on. And now you doing that, you causing more confusion to it. Now, that's my thing. You could say, again, I think that that's not really being pure and true. Now, if you're saying that's kind of going after your bliss, that's fine. But again, I always say cite the source. Some of them, these readers that's out there, you could tell if you listen and you're very empath, and say, look like that DM done burnt you. And so now you telling me to go out there and find somebody else? I got to kind of like cite the source. Let me kind of listen to a couple of your readings a little bit more. And do I see, does that kind of ring true through there? I think about the one time we was watching, David told me about this, the new, had the Hakaya empath, or this new empath, the super empath. And we were listening to it, and he's like, I hear a whole lot of ego in this one here. A whole lot of ego about this stuff. And so the stuff that he was saying was touting was true in his message. But at the same time, I could get what he's saying. It was some ego that was in here. He was shooting down other channels that was talking about this new type of empath. And it really made you, is it like, okay, well, who team do I play for? Am I an imp? Do I stick with the empaths that you was talking about this week? Because they keep on saying we talk things, nice things, that we're like Christ-like. Or do I go over to the side where you are, which is like, you got to be super hyper vigilant on your, touting your own self, of yourself. Putting myself first. Forget about what everybody else says. And I can understand that super vigilant diligent about your self-care. Because a lot of times it says empaths, you're always putting other people first. Okay, do I go with that and then, smush down and judge the others? Who knows? And on this journey, you don't know what it is. But I just know, again, if we are doing that and we're saying that's for the journey, then we've got to be a person, just like as a teacher, we've got to be a moral compass for these twin flames that's out here. We can't be 1 minute we for the adventure and the next minute we talking about, well, I done went with the soulmate, or I done went with so-and-so here or whatever, and I'm doing that. I have a problem with it, and I'm just gonna be honest. That's my truth with that, because I think that, again, if we're out here and we like a person selling the product, and I think about that man that was that worked for, was it Verizon, was it Sprint? He like, can you hear me now? And he was with them, and then he turned around and go work for the other company. It's like, hold on a second, where's your allegiance? We can tell right now your allegiance is for self. It's not really about, it's like, whoever gonna pay me for this commercial is that. And I'm not saying that's what they are, and I can understand that. But again, like I say, you got to watch when you see somebody doing that. If you believe in your product like they do on Shark Tank, if you believe in your product, then you stand behind your product. If you believe in the divine twin flame journey, no matter how hard it is, you got to stand behind your product. I see the light go, You gotta stand by it, no matter how it comes. It may. So I don't know how that looks. You standing by your product looks, but I would say again, try to watch some of these twin flames. I was with him. He's like, what is this? Now we got some other things muddying up and murkying up the waters as far as this twin flame journeys. We got some of these new ones that just coming out, and they already confused and not knowing what this thing is about. They already coming from a place of hurt, and now you coming in here and say, okay, I'm gonna throw this. Here's another option. Here you go. Somebody else. Of course, if I'm in this journey like that, I'm gonna find the easy way out. I don't like the pain. I don't like the thing that I got to go through. And like April said last night, it's some things, again, you've got to, on the playground experience, make sure that you watch that. It's some things that you got to learn and grow for. So in order for you to do that, I'm going to have this, I'm going to play Just For Me again as a theme like I did for the trigger. You've got to, that might be the theme for this period, for this one. You got to go through the pain. Listen to that song that Kirk Franklin said, Just For Me. It don't seem fair. It's not this thing you call love, which is called some kind of pain. I can't. Is this worth it? But you doing it just for me. Is this? You got to go through the fire. You got to be pressed down. You got to be shaken and stirred. God bless Sean Connery. Boy, I loved me some Sean Connery. Now that was my favorite James Bond. I loved him. I love that little Scottish little accent that he had. I don't know, that's some ancestral thing, because I'm supposed to have Scottish and Irish in me. So, you know, through that thing. And I'm like, I love this little accent, little dialogue too. So God bless him, 90 years old. That's good. That's the end of a cycle. God forced behind it. And so he completed his cycle, and that's it, to be there. But again, we've got to be shaken. There can't be no James Bond way shaken and not stirred. That ain't gonna work, okay, on this journey. I'm just speaking my truth. And again, that's the triggering there. It's no way you can be able to do anything like that and then you achieve something greater, or your greatness on the other side. Everybody has had to press. Even Jesus had to be pressed underneath the pressure. So that's just my thing. Again, you know, just looking and seeing about what are we actually, where's our focus? Are we actually at this point being reactionary to things, or are we really being proactive? Really standing for what it is that our truth, and then standing by that. Now, if that's your bliss that you're in and you saying, hey, me going after and doing that, that's fine. But to me, as a leader, and that's who you are, you got to stand for something, or you're going to fall for anything, and you got to stick by it. And I can't be 1 minute you this way and the next minute is that. It confuses your twin, and it confuses everybody else to remind you. Because remember, you're a light worker. You're here to change minds. Not for them to change yours, for you to change other people's mind. Not for you to go on with the masses and doing what everything else that a soul, because you're looking for a soulmate thing. That's not it. You want that sacred love, that highest love. The Spirit said they have especially reserved for you. Is it hard? Yes. Do you have days that you're reactionary? Yes. But then you find yourself coming through that and understand that where is it that I can be able to see the light still in this darkness? No matter what. He chose to go over there with the karmic, or he chose to marry the karmic, or they chose to let me go on the job, or whatever that it is that you're saying that there's some kind of distorted situation or issue that has happened to you. Where can you see the light? Okay, hey, better her than me, because I can tell the way he was acting, he's still gonna be player from the Himalaya with her. So I is rather her be married to him than me. Or at that job, I didn't like it no way. It was hard for me to get there in the first place. I didn't like the commute. It took me an hour to get there. Thank God they let me go. Now that gives me an opportunity for me to look for something else, and for me to find someplace else for me to grow. You know, that's the whole things about that. I'm being proactive about it. I'm not just wallowing in the mire about it. I'm not being reactionary. Oh, that's you and that's good for you. Bye, boo. You know, I'm really looking at it and saying those things. So that gives me time for me. You go over there. That gives me time for me to work on myself. Okay, evidently, that's what Source is telling me. So now how can I be proactive in it instead of being reactionary and being a victim of circumstances? All right, then. That's it. I'm not going to go on and on because I can go on and on. All right, I'm working my way to my next trigger warning. So until next time, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Namago. Love you.